Hello and welcome to this week's episode of My Mum Said I Could Watch It. Evil Hand. See, hi. So it's crash zooms and all that. It was a difficult one to choose. Because so much has been said about it. Evil Dead 2, specifically. 1987 it was made. I didn't see it and for quite some time. In fact, I didn't see this until I was in a sixth form, so that would have been 1992, just prior, really, to Army of Darkness coming out. Its journey into my hands wasn't even through the rental shop. Emma had a copy. You could buy it at this point. The ban elements of it and all of that had sort of passed by. For those of you sort of watching this, yes, Tom, I am referring to yourself because you're a child. Evil Dead was banned. Evil Dead 2 had incredibly difficult distribution. Jonathan Ross couldn't, and Stephen King couldn't really help with that. Didn't appear in my video shop at this point. I'm now a young man going, look, just Gary, go on, just lend us it, mate. But this had some credibility. I believe Virgin Megastore had got the copies. There was this odd series of golden boxed films, culty horrors. This was sort of the beginning of that, what would then become commercial collectibles. Video sell-through had really kicked in, so you could buy Evil Dead 2 for like $4.99, that sort of thing. Oh no, sorry, $4.99. It would have been like $12.99 or something. So anyway, she had Evil Dead 2. Said, oh, it's good, it's very funny. So it was sold to me as a comedy first and foremost. Secondly, I was very, very big on asking about, you know what? I've not seen the first one. Do I need to see the first one? Do I need to have seen the first one? She was like, no, it's fine. You'll be fine. And you know what? Firstly, you absolutely are. For those of you who are wondering about if you need to see Evil Dead 2, you not only should you not, do you not, you really should. I mean, Evil Dead is a historical relic, a cinematic bore fest that at this point exists only as a testament to innovation and a certain chutzpah, or chutzpah, as Juliet Myers corrected me in my pronunciation about 15 years ago, and I never forget because apparently chutzpah was so funny. I'm not bitter about that at all. Premise itself: couple go to a cabin, Airbnb. No, just have it. Find a tape. Start playing the tape. It summons demons. They fight the demons. One of them dies. In the meantime, the people who actually own the cabin come back to the place. Go, you've just what? More demons ensue. Out of all of this, our favourite final girl is Ash Williams. Well, he's great at screaming. Finds it in himself to, like a last act, become the action hero, while the genuine strong female lead becomes a Merlin to sort of banish the spirit, setting up the premise really of this being a hero origin story. There's real absurdist scrapes all the way through. So much can be said for the effects and the level that they must have put into making this, and it does create, I wouldn't call it a horror comedy, actually. I would call it a nausea absurdity, because there is actually so little dialogue in this film. It really struck me now watching it now. Yes, I'm jaded. I've watched it with mates and I've had my popcorn, and I'm sure you've had too. But if you sit there and just watch it alone with yourself and take it in, he really does spend about the good half hour just trying to exist, and every element around him and his entire periphery is trying to attack him. That does take a lot. It's more than just Three Stooges. It is expressionism. It is elements of milieu. I don't see any point in avoiding any of that. Even when you get more of an ensemble of decent shreddies, termed by Sean Hudson, those people you bring in to create empathy just to kill them off. This really also brought home how thick they are. Now, it's very easy for us to go, why are you in a cabin in the woods, blah, 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 blah. They don't make any dumb decisions as such. They find themselves in it. What they're doing is they're trying to find money. What they're doing is they're trying to find their girlfriend. What they're doing is they're just trying to survive towards the end of it. The rather, you can arguably, the Tucker and Dale being the country couple who find the professionals and drive them out to the cabin. The whole, like, you can carry my luggage for me, being quite a bit of a joke, really does pay off. He is trying to get his girlfriend. He's trying to find out where she's gone after she's been consumed by a tree. I'm going to use the word consumed because it's Facebook. Professor Girl, who stabs the Bumpkin Man, for want of a better word, does it while trying to defend herself, thinking it's a monster outside. The damage they inflict on each other is as much out of paranoia than anything else. And in fact, it's quite realistic compared to the Uber preps of the was ostensibly an Evil Dead reboot in about 2006, where the Book of the Dead was wrapped up and gaffer taped and everything. Do not read, do not read. Did we not tell you not to read this? It really works. And the other thing that I noticed was that the biggest arbitrary, the thing that annoyed me the most, as I think we're about to see now, is the arbitrariness in which Ash gets possessed and then is able to free himself with a locket and then gets possessed again. It extends out to everyone else. Now, I understand the ability to possess the dead. I do. Someone you've killed, someone you can possess their body. But it's the way that this comes and goes just makes me go, well, you know what? You could just really possess everyone. There comes a point where you go, if you are not invoking some spirit or you have some sort of rule based in there, or even some notion of vulnerability, arguably, is Ash the most vulnerable because he gets possessed a lot? Or is he the most strong-willed because when possessed, he has actually been able to shirk it off? Finally, in regard of the film itself, the hand is so key. It embodies the fact that there's payback to everything that happens in it. When there's an evil monster in the basement, you've got book, you've got pages. You need those pages. Those pages end up in the basement. The monster doesn't change anything. That still occurs. People fall over and then get eaten by the monster. People get stabbed and then can be eaten by something else. The hand grabs someone else's hand, pretending it's someone else's hand. I mean, the cat and mouse chase is hilarious anyway. But the fact that the hand is what gets the Kandharan dagger and kills the young aspiring professor, it's brilliant. It's brilliant because we watch this being, this imp, really, just ruin everything for them with just the slightest touch. And often just scurries off, disappears, and you go, okay, well, we're just going to ignore it. Well, you can't, and then it comes back. I would say that this is a tremendous piece of work. It does. There's a lot of people who say that Army of Darkness isn't an Evil Dead film. I totally disagree. This really does set that up. I didn't really recall how much detail had gone into the Liber Ex Mortis. But, yes, it is a cartoony picture of Ash being the one who's sent back in time and will save us from the Deadites. It's pulp to start using the more sci-fi versions of space-time continuum in the middle of what can be a very gothic, expressionist horror. And keep it all consistent. Because really, we've got to remember that at the time that this was made, all you had to do was get a guy with a mask and, frankly, squealers, and you would make some money. Your film would make some money, from stop motion to crash zooms to everything they throw at this, and with characters who okay, they don't say much, but are more than just archetypal shreddies. You can see the dynamic of how they end up in that city. So yes, absolutely. Evil Dead 2, thank you for still being around. I think you should all catch it. It's if I'm gonna say anything about Evil Dead 2, I would say do what I did with it this time. Don't watch it with mates. Don't, and you know who you are. Don't invite someone round and play guitar at them with your opinion of the film while they're watching it for the first time. In fact, just lend them it and go, you know what, watch this on your own and see what you think. It really is such a worthwhile time. And with that, I will give the video back to Emma. I'm sure she won't mind. And I'll see you all soon.